Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to our channel, to the place that we come and hang, where we drink coffee, tea, matcha, green tea, Mountain Dew. What are you eating, drinking? Where are you this time of day? Where are you in the world? Guys, so you've asked me, so please like, subscribe, and share. Please, I would appreciate that, guys. I'm coming up on 15,000. I really want to get there. Can you help me get there? It's a big number. They're saying it's a big number. The Menendez brothers. You've asked me, what do you think, Toddy? What do you think? What's your opinion? They unalived their parents. It's my opinion. They've admitted to that, and things came out and said that these kids didn't feel safe at home, right? Because the dad ABUSED'd the boys and stopped with the oldest one. He stopped with the oldest one, not realizing that his younger brother was now the recipient of the dad's awful behavior, and that the mom, in fact, apparently knew about it and just didn't fight for her boys. So there's a lot to unpack there. So, 35 years ago when this crime took place, it wasn't, you didn't really contemplate that maybe boys were abused like girls were abused. And it has come out that that was a legitimate issue that was going on in that house. A legitimate issue that was going on in that house. And supposedly, what made the boys go after the parents that night was because the older son was already out of school. I think he was on the East Coast. The Menendez family, the dad and the mom lived on the West Coast. He was a music mogul, right? So it had something to do with Menudo. I knew a couple people from Menudo when I had the recording studio. It was Kitty and Jose. Yeah. So Jose and Kitty just didn't stand up for the boys. She didn't stand up for the boys and was kind of nonchalant, apparently, when she was confronted, when the boys confronted her. Like, she knew she's not stupid, supposedly. She said something to the effect. We don't know what really happened there, but we know that there's letters that do exist with the brothers complaining about what was going on in the home. We know that a cousin had said something previous to anything going on here. There were things there were 2 trials for the boys. We know this. There was a hung jury in the first trial. In the second trial, they didn't allow the assault that was going on with the kids. And what happened that night, apparently, the young son, the only one that was still remaining, thought he was going to go away to college. Thought he was going to go live in a dorm. It was over with. He'd put it in the past, what was going on between him and his dad, and he was going to go away to college. He saw a light at the end of the tunnel, only to have that extinguished because the dad said, "You're not going anywhere. I'm keeping you here. I'm keeping you here." So the younger son told his older brother, who had already experienced what his dad had done to him, thought it was over with, didn't realize that it went to the other brother. He confronted his dad and said, "Hey, no more." And the dad scoffed, supposedly, and said, "What are you going to do about it? I own him. I'm going to do what I want with him. What are you going to do about it?" The 2 were seen to buy guns with a fake ID. they came back and they destroyed their parents in a most brutal attack that was supposed to look like a mafia hit. It was supposed to look like a mafia hit, and they got away with it. Literally, they were getting away with it, but it bothered one of the brothers so much so that they confessed to their psychiatrist, to their therapist. They confessed to the therapist, and the therapist. So it was the guilt of unaliving the parents, and actually more proof than Gypsy had of what was going on with her. The guilt and the way that these two young men lived their life and took advantage of the system inside of the prisons. One of them got their bachelor's degree. I never understood that, because if you don't have, they're doing life sentences. What are they going to do with their bachelor's degree? But it seems like the older brother, I think it was Lyle, is the older, I'm pretty sure the older brother is Lyle. And he has gotten his degree, and he's helping. He's got the whole reform, the whole idea that Gypsy was supposed to be working on that did nil. Okay, now granted, fine, this guy's been in there for 35 years, but he didn't just start this. You know, he's already had this this behavior. So Lyle is the oldest of the two boys, and then there's Eric. And I'm pretty sure that Lyle's the one that got his degree. So you guys are asking me, what do you think, Toddy? I think that I don't understand how they can take away what the kids were going through, what he was going through at home. Listen, my problem with this, and I guess this is the problem, is when somebody unalives somebody, it's in self-defense. We want to think it happens right then and there. It's not planned and waited for. If you're afraid, you're afraid. You're going to run. That's the thing I was saying with Sarah Boone. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to lock him in a suitcase that you're afraid he's going to get out of, and then you're going to go into the bedroom? Like, it doesn't make any sense. This, too, they could have left. Why didn't they leave? Why didn't they tell people? Were they not going to be believed? Were they that afraid? But then they plan this whole attack, and then they're buying Rolexes, and they're buying expensive cars. And obviously there was guilt. There was guilt because they told. You know, especially the one brother told his therapist, so there was guilt. You know, some people buy things to make them feel better. Is that what was going on? How come they didn't allow what was going on with the dad messing around with the kids in the second trial? But they allowed it in the first trial enough so that it confused a bunch of people and said, I don't know what to do. If he's guilty, he's not guilty. I guess they're guilty of unaliving. But is it justified? And you see, I don't know. I've never experienced that. What do I think is, I think that the guys have served their time. I think that they have done good things in the system. They haven't had any write-ups or anything. Our friend Gypsy had a few write-ups. You know that, right? I'm not lying. And I throw Gypsy into this because I do a lot of Gypsy Rose, those people that don't know. And, you know, the fact that she's out running the streets like nobody's business. And these guys, you know, these guys went through real trauma that was shown and seen and proven. Not gypsies. And one of them felt bad enough that they got in trouble. And they got caught that way. All right? So I feel like the times have changed. I feel like, they've done 35 years, these brothers, and I think that they're safe because you can see the growth. You already saw the remorse, So that's what I think, guys. You asked me, I'm a telling you. Lyle and Eric, free Lyle and Eric. By the way, there is a petition that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link. So if you would like to participate in helping them get resentenced so that they might get time served and go home, this is something that the family, I'm going to show you that as well, that the family is asking anybody who is interested in signing to sign. So I'll go ahead and I'll link that. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind. And I appreciate you. Thanks, guys. Guys, you asked for them, and they have arrived. Here they are. And they say, be better today than you were yesterday, but not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Guys, Cash App is inside my description, and or PayPal, also in my description. Guys, $4, and I'll mail them to you. If you're out of the country, $5. Guys, just make sure that you send your address with it. In the memo, you should put your address. Inside is embossed. It says Toddy One Skip.